Change often feels unsettling because it disrupts the sense of stability we work so hard to build in our lives. For many of us, routines and familiar habits provide comfort, and when they shift, it can feel like the ground has been pulled from beneath us. As we grow older, these changes might include health concerns, retirement, or even the loss of loved ones. Each of these experiences forces us to adapt, sometimes more quickly than we would like. The first step in staying flexible is acknowledging that it is natural to feel uneasy about transitions. Recognizing this discomfort does not make us weak. It makes us human. Another reason change can feel difficult is because it challenges our identity and sense of self. For decades, we may define ourselves by our work, roles in the family, or community responsibilities. When those roles shift, it can leave us feeling uncertain about who we are. This is especially true during retirement, when many struggle with questions of purpose. Instead of resisting, we can use this as a chance to rediscover passions or cultivate new interests. Change can open the door to aspects of ourselves we never had the time to explore. We also must understand that the human brain is naturally wired to prefer predictability. Familiarity feels safe because it reduces the unknown. However, when life forces us out of comfort zones, our brains are also capable of tremendous growth. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections, remains active even in later years. This means we can still learn, adjust, and thrive. Knowing that our minds are capable of handling change helps reduce fear. It's important to remember that not all changes are negative. Some bring joy, like welcoming grandchildren, moving to a dream retirement home, or finding new friendships. By widening our perspective, we can see that change often brings gifts hidden behind challenges. The key lies in how we frame these experiences in our minds. If we approach change as an opportunity rather than a threat, our emotional response becomes lighter and more hopeful. Finally, embracing change requires patience with ourselves. We cannot expect to adjust overnight, nor should we force ourselves to feel comfortable before we are ready. Flexibility is not about ignoring the pain of transitions, but about allowing ourselves the grace to process them fully. By understanding why change feels hard, we set the foundation for growing stronger and more open as we age. Developing a flexible mindset begins with shifting how we view challenges. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" This subtle change in perspective can dramatically alter our emotional response. Life becomes less about resisting what we cannot control and more about discovering how to adapt. A flexible mindset empowers us to see obstacles as stepping stones toward growth. Another powerful practice is cultivating curiosity. When we approach new situations with curiosity instead of fear, change becomes less intimidating. Asking questions, exploring possibilities, and staying open to learning keeps our minds youthful. For example, instead of dreading new technology, we might explore it with the same excitement a child feels when discovering something new. Curiosity transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Gratitude is also essential in nurturing mental flexibility. By focusing on what remains positive and meaningful in our lives, we reduce the tendency to dwell on what we have lost. Writing down daily moments of gratitude reminds us that change often brings blessings alongside challenges. Even small shifts in perspective, like appreciating a morning walk or a friendly conversation, strengthen resilience. Flexibility also requires letting go of perfectionism. Life will never unfold exactly as we plan, and holding rigid expectations often leads to disappointment. By releasing the need for everything to be perfect, we create space for joy in imperfection. This attitude allows us to embrace surprises and adapt more smoothly when things take an unexpected turn. Finally, practicing self-compassion is key. Being flexible does not mean we always handle change perfectly. There will be days when we feel overwhelmed or resistant. Instead of criticizing ourselves, we can offer kindness and patience. A flexible mindset grows strongest when nurtured by compassion, reminding us that we are doing our best in every season of life. Relationships often reflect how well we embrace change. Friendships evolve, families grow, and social circles shift as life moves forward. Staying open in relationships means accepting that people change, just as we do. Sometimes loved ones may not always understand our perspectives, and we may not understand theirs. Flexibility allows us to continue building bridges instead of walls. One important aspect of staying open is active listening. Too often, we prepare responses instead of truly hearing what the other person is saying. By listening with empathy, we create space for deeper understanding. This openness not only strengthens bonds but also reduces unnecessary conflict. Change in relationships often becomes easier when both sides feel heard and respected. Another part of staying open is embracing generational differences. Younger family members may have different values, lifestyles, or priorities than we did at their age. Instead of judging, we can learn from them and share our wisdom in return. Mutual exchange fosters respect and helps keep relationships meaningful across generations. Forgiveness is also vital when adapting to relational change. As people grow, misunderstandings and mistakes are inevitable. Holding on to resentment only creates bitterness. Forgiveness, however, frees both ourselves and others, allowing room for growth and renewed connection. Letting go of grudges is a powerful way to stay open-hearted. Lastly, nurturing relationships during change requires consistency. Whether through phone calls, visits, or small gestures, staying connected reminds loved ones that they are valued. Relationships are living bonds that require care. By staying open, we allow them to grow stronger, even in the face of life's inevitable transitions. Embracing change is not only about coping, but also about actively seeking opportunities. Each transition, no matter how challenging, carries the potential for something new. For instance, retirement can be seen as a loss of routine or as a doorway to explore passions long put aside. Viewing change as a chance to reinvent ourselves keeps life exciting. Exploring new hobbies is one way to embrace opportunities. Whether learning a musical instrument, trying painting, or gardening, hobbies provide joy and stimulate creativity. They also create opportunities to meet new people, fostering community and preventing isolation. A new activity often brings fresh energy to daily life. Travel, even on a small scale, is another way to embrace change. Visiting new places, whether abroad or just in nearby towns, expands our perspective and refreshes our spirit. Traveling allows us to step outside routine, encounter different cultures, and appreciate the diversity of life. Each journey reminds us that change can be beautiful. Volunteering is also a meaningful way to channel change into purpose. Giving time to help others not only benefits communities, but also brings personal fulfillment. Whether mentoring young people or assisting in local organizations, volunteering turns life transitions into opportunities for connection and contribution. Lastly, embracing new opportunities means staying open to personal growth. Lifelong learning through books, classes, or online courses stimulates the mind and builds confidence. Each new skill learned reinforces the idea that it is never too late to grow. By seeking opportunities in change, we prove to ourselves that every season of life holds endless potential. Thriving through change requires more than just acceptance. It requires intentional action. When we take ownership of how we respond to life's shifts, we empower ourselves to move forward with strength. Thriving means finding joy, purpose, and peace even in uncertain circumstances. It is about making choices that align with growth rather than fear. One powerful way to thrive is to create new routines. Change often disrupts old habits, but new routines restore stability. Establishing healthy patterns, like exercise, meditation, or journaling, provides balance during uncertain times. These routines become anchors that keep us steady even as life evolves. Maintaining physical health also supports thriving through change. Regular movement, balanced nutrition, and adequate rest keep our bodies strong and capable. When our physical foundation is solid, we are better equipped to handle emotional and mental challenges. Taking care of the body is an act of resilience. Emotional wellness is equally important. Practices such as mindfulness, therapy, or spiritual reflection help us process change with clarity. Emotional strength grows when we face our feelings honestly rather than suppressing them. By nurturing inner peace, we become more adaptable and open to what lies ahead. Ultimately, thriving through change is about hope. When we believe that the future still holds joy, we open our hearts to embrace it. Change may not always be easy, but it carries the promise of renewal. By choosing to stay flexible and open, we ensure that every chapter of life is rich with meaning and possibility.